Alright, hey, hi, everybody, this is Pika here, and I'm here to present to you Katawa Shoujo Part 16! And if you could see someone crawling on the top screen, look! It's NA! Our favorite little cyber girl! Anyway, what happened, basically, because I had to reset my computer again, because audio fucking issues, and I had to restart from my point of Katawa Shoujo, and I just got to it, so let's get started! Alright, again, we skipped some text history, so well, actually, let me edit this down. There we go. Alright, so let's see some text history. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna guess it's right here where Hasao is. Alright. Are you sure you want to go? The weather that has been wonderful for all of June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The leaden clouds drooping over the town look worrisome, and the air feels heavy and still, just like before rain. The forecast said there's a 60% chance of rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season. Of course I'm sure! I've been waiting for this all week! Emma had planned a picnic at some nearby park, with snacks aplenty bought from the convenience store, but with the weather this gloomy, it seems risky. Okay, as far as I know, that's about it. Alright. I asked some other people to come too, but they didn't want to go because of the weather. We have to prove them wrong! Wrong how? You know, like how it always rains when you think it won't, and when you think it will, it doesn't. We'll go no matter what, so it's a win-win situation! Okay, I'm trying not to go as high. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I feel like this should be Emmy's voice, because like, it doesn't put too much strain on my throat. I've been going without sweets for weeks because of practice for track meet, and now I can splurge at anything I want. Nothing is going to stop me now. Oh God, it feels like it's like her voice got suddenly higher and then nasal. What the fuck? I thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle and stuff. Oh, Isao, you understand so little. There's not a single girl on this planet who doesn't love sweets. Did you hear me say the word sweets in her voice? Sweets. I don't like sweets. Of course you don't. She doesn't count! Anyway, is this clear? She doesn't count! There's no girl in the world who doesn't love sweets. I don't like sweets. She doesn't count! Completely. We will go and eat our fill of sweets. Damn straight we will! Oh God, she's so adorable when she cusses. To work it off later, but it's so worth it! Emmy seems to be extremely determined about this. She is positively exhilarated, brimming with energy as always, but something seems special today. It looks like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot. Come on! I grasp the wooden handle of the umbrella I brought and start to follow the two girls, who seem to have no qualms about leaving me behind if I keep daydreaming. Sorry. My umbrella is really fancy, the old-fashioned kind with a curved handle and a metal spike at the end. Damn, you are fancy! Oh, hello, good sir. Would you like me to take your coat and umbrella? It used to belong to my grandfather. It looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape, almost as good as new. And now you're right in the middle of the text! It's really big, too. I remember how my grandfather, my grandmother, and I all fit neatly under it when a rainstorm caught us on an afternoon walk years ago, when I was around 9 or 10. My grandparents are both gone now, but I still have the umbrella to keep me dry when it rains. Damn it, N.A. I would move her, but it's like, unless she's completely blocking a word, I could still see it. We walk along the road leading down from the school towards the convenience store, the clouds casting their dark shadow down on us. The weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse, and I'm pretty sure I just felt a raindrop on my head. Didn't you guys think of taking umbrellas? It really looks like it'll rain. Rin looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders. I don't have one! Besides, a little rain won't kill us! She pushes her chest out, looking very confident about that. We aren't made of sugar! I thought that's exactly what girls were made of, especially considering what you're planning to gorge yourself on today. Sorry about that, my brother's bleh. She just sticks out her tongue in reply. The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one, but it's not very short either. It's all downhill, so our steps roll easily, but time stretches out nevertheless. The distance is right there, in that gray area where you don't expect the trip to be quickly over with, but you aren't preparing for a long walk either. Thus, the trip is slightly too long to stay comfortably quiet the whole time, though the girls don't seem to mind. Rin walks calmly ahead, seemingly lost in thought. I'm kind of wary about starting a conversation since the last time didn't end very well for either of us. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. It's like she got pissed all of a sudden. Of course, then again, Rin's not very clear on what she feels sometimes. I haven't exchanged a single word with her since then. Emmy, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. She seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over cracks, or balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then she comments on something to which Rin replies in an automatic sounding nonsensical way that makes Emmy giggle a little. What the fuck, Skip? As we reach the bottom of the hill, the first raindrops begin to fall. I feel one hit the top of my head, then two more hit my nose in quick succession. Shut up, Mom! I wish I could say some of the crap that I do to my parents, but it's like, no, they would kill me. Fucking Christ! I will say that the thunder scared me! It's not one or two rain clouds anymore. The entire sky has turned shadowy gray, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us.
Oh shoot, I guess we aren't going to have a picnic then.
What now? Well, first off, get the umbrella.
Maybe we can have a rain picnic. A picnic in rain. No, we don't just catch a cold. I don't like getting me or my snacks wet. I kinda like it. Not the snacks part, though.
Emma considers a problematic situation for a moment while I open my umbrella and lift it up, trying to hold it so that all three of us get covered.
Hey, Sal, have you been through Shanghai yet?
Oh god, did you hear me say that? It's like I ran out of breath and I just... It's a cafe somewhere around here, right? I've heard of it.
It's a nice place! Let's go there and wait out the rain! If it's just a really quick shower, we can still go for the picnic, and if it gets worse, we'll just order cake there instead!
Neither Rin nor I have better ideas, so with Emmy taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street. The cafe is only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella, we can't avoid getting slightly damp. The rain keeps coming down harder and harder. Raindrops leave tiny dots on the black asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like... What? Pointillists? I can't pronounce that! Pointillists! I never heard of that word! Artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds. It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of the cars parked on the sides of the street and already flowing in little creeks along the sidewalks. The yellow light shining through the rainwater streaming down the windows looks very warm and inviting. I shake the excess water off the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emmy to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people had the same idea as Emmy, and now we are all stranded together here in this cozy little place. Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with Parisian-style tables and chairs in discordant harmony, a contrast of old and new. Listen to this music, it's swanky! Light jazz plays quietly in the background, though it's mostly drowned out by the murmur of the customers. There's only one waitress serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another and trying to keep up with everything. To my surprise, I think I recognize her. I watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pastries to another table taken by Yamaku's students, then take an order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us before finally turning to serve us. Yugo? Huh. Now that she's close and facing me, I see that it really is her, the part-time librarian of the Yamaku in full waitress attire. It's a pretty cute outfit, and she has tied her hair up in buns to match. It's a completely different image from her mousy plain style at her other job. Yuko blinks a few times looking confused, then remembers that she was about to say something.
Welcome to the Shanghai.
So you work here too? I thought you were a university student or something.
Yes, that too. It's a part-time job, as you can see. It's Sunday, so there aren't any lectures. good thing too, since today has been so busy and wishing for another pair of hands. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rush, as you can see. What can I get you today?
Emmy doesn't hesitate even for a second. Her eyes glitter like those of a kid in a candy store.
Tea for everyone and cake for me!
Yuko tries to stay as formal and professional looking as possible, smiling cheerily at my ravenous companion.
Ah, yes, today we have a choice of strawberry shortcake, raspberry layer cake, or lemon meringue pie.
Pie? I don't know how to pronounce this.
Strawberry! No, lemon! No, actually, I'll take both!
She looks at me in challenge. I'll take just the pie.
Nothing.
Emmy makes a face at Ren as though she had bitten into a lemon. She's clearly unhappy with her for not joining in. I can never get over this music.
Oh, come on, Ren, that's not polite at all! Nothing, thank you. No, you silly! I meant that you should order something too! I'll take a straw then. My feet are all wet.
Sorry about that.
Sorry? They're drinking kind of straw. One, please.
Yuko's obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry, before deciding that we finished ordering.
Thank you very much!
Just smashed her head on the table. I've never seen an animation of Annie before. She's like laying down, it's like twiddling. Okay. She bows down a little bit too deeply and scampers to safety behind the counter. After that ordeal is over with, I have a chance to relax a bit and take a better look at the surroundings. Almost every table is occupied by people happy to be out of the rain, thankfully sipping their tea while waiting to dry off. Fragments of grumbling about the lousy weather and discussions over recent homework carry about from nearby tables to my ears. Each one overlaps the other, but all are covered by the sound of falling rain. After a while, Yuko returns to our table, carrying a tray with a huge teapot, 3 cups, a slice of cake, and 2 slices of pie. Oh, Jesus, did you see her shiver? She slaps the tray out into our tiny table with a clatter, almost sending the teapot toppling over into Rin's lap. We barely recover before she bows again and leaves, hurrying us off to serve the other customers. There should be like a fucking anime for this. Actually, not even anime, like a little bit of like shorts, basically. That'd be fun. Emmy's been eyeing her strawberry cake very hungrily all this time, but somehow she managed to contain herself until Yuko was out of sight. She digs in with gusto while I content myself with pouring tea for everyone and placing the straw in Rin's cup. Rin looks at the way the tea swirls round and round her white china cup, her eyes half closed, almost like she is being hypnotized. Looks good. I pick up my fork and eye the food in front of me. The pie I got looks perfectly done, a thick layer of meringue atop creamy lemon custard. Oh, that sounds nice. After having the first bite, pause, savoring the combination of tangy citrus and smooth sugary meringue. It's quite good, though a bit too sweet for me.
It's not good!
Wait, what? I don't even know what she was trying to say here, and I felt, blah. She's talking through a mouthful of cake, already halfway through her slice, even though it's not exactly small.
I want to taste some of that!
Yo, bitch! That's my cake! Before I get to respond, she strikes out at my delicious pie, takes a piece with her fork, and escapes with it.
This is pretty good too!
What are you doing? You have a slice of your own. And mine's lemoned. Yours is strawberry.
Yeah, but if I started on that before finishing the cake, it'd be rude, don't you think?
Her insolence is outrageous, but the gentleman in me allows for no retaliation. I would've been like, bitch, this is my cake! I glare angrily at her, and she replies by sticking out her tongue impishly. Emmy's even more hyper than usual today, but I don't mind. It's good for her to let off some steam. I take another sip of the tea in my cup. It's good and hot, even though I don't usually care much for tea, and the atmosphere in the cafe is very relaxing. I don't mind spending the rest of the afternoon here, not even after Emmy orders her second piece of strawberry cake, and Rin spends most of the time staring fixedly at the rain streaming down from the heavens. Even Yuko rolls her eyes at the third piece of cake disappearing in Emmy's bottomless stomach just as quickly as the previous two. Good God, Emmy. Despite the passing of time, it's still raining outside when we exit the Shanghai, though it seems to be letting up a little. Too bad it had to rain on your parade.
Weren't we supposed to have a picnic?
Emmy doesn't look too distraught over this turn of events.
Nah, it's fine. We had a good time, didn't we? I feel really pumped up. It isn't even raining that hard anymore. I kind of want to hike back to school to get rid of this energy and work off some of that cake.
She stretches her arms out and arches her back like a cat. After rolling her shoulders around twice, she smiles brightly.
Man, I can't really run with these legs though, especially uphill. I wish I brought my other ones.
This notion sounds odd, spoken so casually, but I guess for Emmy, changing legs is sort of like someone else changing shoes.
Maybe if I walk really fast, it'll be kind of like running. I think I'll do that.
I won't be able to keep up with that going uphill, though. I really am in bad shape. Plus, you get wet without an umbrella. Fuck you, Norton!
It's hardly even a drizzle now. A few drops won't hurt. I think I'm gonna go to the church after I change my legs, too.
Emmy skips away from the protection of my umbrella and goes on ahead at a brisk pace. Suddenly, she seems to remember something. She stops and spins around.
See you tomorrow! Come eat lunch with us on the roof. I'll bring it up for free.
Okay, now it's just me and you, Rin. Rin and I are left to watch her wave at us and skip off again. Soon she disappears around a street corner. I'll never understand why Emmy's perpetually in such a hurry to get somewhere. So, would you like me to walk you back to school so that at least one of you won't get wet?
If you're happy with it.
It seems neither of us wants to keep alive the strained atmosphere from the argument a few days ago in the art room, which makes me feel relieved. I don't want to bear grudges, and I'm happy that Rin feels the same way. Thus it is decided that we are content with each other's company for now, and we start walking in the same direction as Emmy, albeit at a considerably calmer pace. I knew there was going to be a picture. It's like, there's no way. I get a bit closer to Rin, even though the umbrella is already big enough to shelter us both. I can feel her nearby warmth, providing a contrast to the chill of this rainy weather. Are you fucking with me? Raindrops hitting the umbrella make a distinctive sound, playing the staccato melody of rainfall for nobody in particular. I realize I haven't been outside in the rain in what feels like forever. I inhale, taking in the scent of rain, feeling the weather with all my senses. The world melts into a blur inside the rain. The colors of the sky have deepened from gray to dark blue, with hues of red added to the mix from the sunlight reflecting off the clouds. The low-hanging sky looks pretty, as if I could reach out my hand and touch it.
Have I told you how much I like rain? It's like painting. It makes me feel connected.
Almost echoing my thoughts, Rin lets out one of her own. It slips out of her mouth, circling around us gently.
Everything looks so soft, like the outlines of things just disappear. I like that. It's like the rain is hugging me.
Her voice sounds different from usual, more gentle now, and soft. I wonder if it's only because of the rain, or because of the mood the rain brought upon the quiet artist girl. just to turn around. I feel that mood in myself too, enhanced by her words. Yeah, I like rainy weather too. It's nice every once in a while. I wonder what it is about the rain.
Everything.
A silence follows the statement as it allows for no continuation. I decide to push the direction of the conversation a little. But you know, if you like the feeling of being connected, what's the problem with showing your paintings to others? Don't you want to be connected to other people?
It's not the same thing. You're comparing apples and squids.
I brought up the subject Rin wants to avoid, and it shuts her down again. The question stays hanging between us for the rest of the trip back to school, and I can't help wondering what on earth I could have said to truly reach Rin. Does she feel that she's lacking an identity? She has a strong personality, but if pressed to elaborate, I'm not sure I could describe it accurately. She feels like a person who is in constant conflict with herself. I never know what to expect when I talk to her. I wonder how she herself experiences that disconnect. If Rin is asking herself every day, who am I, and obsessively paints images to define herself day after day, what does she think of that way of living? The irony is, that's the exact same question I've been asking myself for the past 4 or 5 months. For me, it was miserable. I can only assume that's the natural state of being for this girl. Damn it! When are we gonna get to Act 3? When we stop in front of the dormitories, Rin turns to face me as if sensing my thoughts from afar. Her gaze travels emptily past my left shoulder into the shapeless rainfall. Her dark eyes seem to suck the low ambient light into themselves like a reverse mirror. The empty gaze lets nothing out. If I want to understand what's going on behind those eyes, I have to work it out myself. Rin opens her mouth, then closes it without saying anything. The silence lasts for a few more moments before she takes a step towards the dorm building door. See you tomorrow. Finally? Fuck! Shoujo, Katawa Shoujo, Katawa Shoujo. God damn it! Can we please get to Act 3? It's starting to piss me off now. Okay, thanks, Ren. You know, I love you so much. We're not even at 20 minutes. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, that was wrong. Wait, are we? 28, 11. Oh, we're not even. Yeah, we just got past 10 minutes. What the fuck is this shit? Alright, I'll keep going. The next morning, like every second morning until he says otherwise, I have an appointment with a nurse. They allow me to skip part of my first class in the morning, and I don't feel any shame in skipping the rest either. Rather than being thankful I get to miss world history, I instead feel dread when I think about these appointments. Oh, not again! Excuse me. I wake up at the normal time anyway and wash myself in the bathroom I share with Kenji, tying in my sleep disheveled hair. I quickly get dressed and put my laundry in the basket. I pack up for the school day. I have all my homework done like usual, so I have a bit of free time now. There's no point in going to the morning class for 20 minutes before I'd have to get to the nurse's office, so I lie down on my bed and read a book until it's time to go. I was gonna say, that's it! The door to the nurse's office is open, which is unusual. I enter while knocking to announce my arrival. Looking up from his computer desk, he motions me to take a seat with a friendly hello. Steam wafts up from a piping hot cup of coffee on his desk. It's probably not his first today. How are you feeling this wonderful morning, Hisao? Man, I don't have a specific voice set for him. I just just go a little bit flamboyant. Fuck. Damn it, NA, no multiplying. I'm alright, I think. It was cold yesterday because of the rain, so I woke up feeling a bit groggy. You too, huh? Quite a few kids got caught without an umbrella, and so we've been spending time handing out masks and curing sniffles. Alright, today it's test day. Give me your arm. I extend my left arm towards him, keeping my face expressionless. The nurse ties a rubber tourniquet around my bicep at the practice movement and briskly goes about his business. I don't think anybody really likes getting stuck with needles, but at least I got over my distaste for them. I had to. Now I barely even twitch at the moment of truth. Once that's done, a blood pressure check follows, and then there are checklists and questionnaires to go through. The nurse nods and scribbles in my answers to the questions I give him. Hell no! Don't do that, Eddie! She doesn't want to multiply. She gives me a fucking smirk like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and then her sign pops up. It's like, you bitch. Alright, let's have a listen now. I unbutton my shirt and put it neatly on the back of the chair I was using while he puts on a stethoscope. I know by heart the order of the places where he's going to listen to my London heartbeat. I adjust my breathing to be even and deep without even being asked. It's become routine now for both of us. It's funny, this is pretty much the only time in one's life when really concentrate on breathing and nothing else. It has always amused me. The nurse lifts the cold steel stethoscope from my chest and places it a few inches lower, listening again. The contact of the metal makes me flinch on reflex, even though I was expecting it. He furrows his brow, but I can't tell if it's because he's unhappy or if he's trying to pick something specific out among the complex multitude of irregularities in my heartbeat. Is there something wrong? Please don't talk. Just shut up. I shut up and become more anxious. The nurse is nice, but I can't help disliking these mandatory checkups. I wonder if I'm going to end up hating all medical appointments from now on because of these. He finally lifts the circular metal plate from my chest, allowing me to talk again. Everything seems fine. Are you feeling alright yourself? I suppose. I was out yesterday when it was raining, and yeah, I really felt a bit under the weather in the morning. Maybe I caught a cold. Who were you with, Emmy? She came down with a cold, too. My people told her to stay in bed for a day or two. Really? I mean, I was with her, but I didn't know she got sick. I guess it was a dumb thing after all for her to go out in the rain like that. Yeah, well, let's put that aside. Everything seems to check out for you, but remember to be careful. Of course, I really don't want to go back to the hospital. He catches something, maybe repressed terror, I don't know, in my voice and glances up from some papers he was looking at. Hey, don't worry. At this stage, it will take a huge crash in your condition to get you rehospitalized. Wait, I did not say that word right, and I don't give a crap. It doesn't really assure me, but grumbling about it to him won't make any difference. I quietly take my leave. Walking along the corridor from the auxiliary building to the main school building, I encounter a young female nurse coming the other way. She smiles at me when we pass by each other. The lobby is empty, full of people. No surprise since classes are still going on. I hear muffled sounds of discussion coming from behind the first floor classroom doors. I glance at my watch. I have to rush to get to my classroom in time, and I don't feel like going to class anyway, so I decide to climb up to the roof and have an extra long lunch break. Emmy promised she'd bring something for me today, but if she's sick, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not feeling hungry anyways, so it's all the same. The climb up the steep stairwell to the roof is oddly liberating, almost like losing weight. I feel a satisfaction that doesn't win me as badly as it did the first time I came up here. I push open the squeaky door at the top and step in the sunlight. Holy shit. The chain link fence allows for a grand view over the treetops, all the way to the gray silhouettes of downtown further away. The dreary weather of yesterday is just a memory now. The silvery blue sky seems to be a mere arm's reach away. God damn it, parents! I forget for a moment that I'm in a bad mood. The warmth of the sun soaks into my bones, making me drowsy and lazy instead. The bells ring for lunch break, startling me back into reality. Soon afterward, the quad below me bursts into life. Students pour out of the doors down on the ground floor, intent on enjoying lunch at the quad and the lush gardens in this perfect weather. When I hear the door to the stairwell being pushed open, I don't bother turning to see who it is. The intruder starts coming towards me with uneven footsteps. The little river stones the roof is covered with rattle and crunch underfoot. The footsteps stop a few feet behind me, followed by a silence. I look upwards into the glowing eye of the sun, absorbing its warmth with my whole body. What are you doing? Hey, Ren. I turn around out of courtesy at her first words, to behold the slim, awkward figure Rin Tezuka. She looks very much like herself today, too. Her hair is maybe a tad messier than usual, as if she just got out of bed. She stands with her weight shifted onto one foot, looking at me with mild curiosity, as if I were something in a store's display window. I don't know, just spacing out, I guess. What about you? Emmy promised food. We usually eat here. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. I heard Emmy came down with a cold. Oh, I guess that makes sense. She wasn't in class. It's not that common to get a cold in June, though. You don't think she went running at the track afterwards like she said. The rain just kept going. Probably. In the rain?
in the rain.
That sounds like a bit too much for just keeping up with training regime. I was thinking I was another word. Emmy's a hard-headed one, though, so I can see her running in the downpour just because she had to. Well, that's obviously overdoing it. Probably why she came down with that cold, too. But I guess it's kind of cool.
Speaking of that, I'm not feeling well either. Achoo!
Oh dear. Rin sneezes pretty hard, failing to stop it in time. She cranes her head down to wipe her nose on her shoulder, so deciding that would be too unladylike, I pull out my handkerchief and hold it to her nose. Here, bless you. Thanks. Thanks. Alright. She clears her nose and I dab the handkerchief gently on it, wiping it clean. Her nose is really cute. Oddly enough, it's probably the girliest part of Rin's face. I think I'm blushing a little, but Rin doesn't notice.
Thanks. I think I might be coming up or down with something too, like I was saying.
Hope not. Rin doesn't seem to be bothered about eating, so despite the lack of Emmy-provided lunch, we stay out up on the rooftop. She comes over and stands next to me, right up against the fence, looking into the same abstract distance as I am. Nobody else seems to be coming around to intrude upon this calmness either. It's quiet and peaceful. What does one do on a lunch break if not eat? It turns out that between the two of us, we don't really know. Fortunately, passing time is an activity that manages itself just fine. Even though there's no conversation to fill the silence between the passing seconds, no pointless activities like cloud gazing to spend upon the minutes between now and then, time marches on relentlessly. I keep checking the time on my watch, then decide it's a dumb thing to do. Instead, I try to hold out for as long as possible before I check it again. Maybe I can hold out for 6 or 7 minutes. Rin remains silent, idly looking at the cerulean expanse above us. I wonder why, more often than not, we don't speak much. She said that she doesn't like speaking because of her perceived difficulties with expressing herself properly. As for me, I think I just got sucked into the habit at the hospital where I spent such a long stretch of time never really talking to anyone. Most of the time I feel comfortable about this quiet mood, and even when I get the feeling I have to break the silence, it's always so difficult to come up with something to talk about when it's with Rin. She and I are on such different wavelengths that nothing seems to be on common ground. What is it that you like about the sky so much? She turns to me, her eyes dark and serious.
Sky's the only thing that is perfect. I know it. You could say I'm an expert of sky if you wanted, and I am, even if you didn't want to, a sky expert. It's always different, but it's always perfect, also when it's different.
I follow her gaze up into the boundless blue expanse, thinking of her words. Have you ever wanted to be something different?
It wouldn't be so bad to be the sky.
No, I mean someone else, someone different. To go to a normal school like everyone else and not have to worry about stuff.
What stuff?
I try to find the right words for a moment, but can't manage to form a sentence that I'd be comfortable with actually using. Man, I don't really want to say it aloud.
Try, I'm not so good at mind reading.
Don't you ever want to not be disabled? She thinks about this and then shakes her head, frowning.
That's a hard question. I don't know what to say.
It's okay if you don't say anything. For some reason, I'm just so unsatisfied with who I am right now. Now that I'm constantly thinking stuff like that. It's pretty hard to admit, but there it is. Honestly, I feel relieved about finally saying it aloud to someone, even if it's just Rin.
I think I want to be different sometimes. I've thought about changing myself lately, but it's a bit scary, like walking backwards with your eyes closed. The difficult part is to know where your toes are not pointing at. I mean, directions. Even if I don't do anything, I would never stay the same. It's like my old paintings. They're different than what I paint now because I'm different, but they're still my paintings, so there's something same. That's really strange. I am different every day, but I'm still me every day. Who am I then?
Is that a riddle?
If you wanted to be. I don't know the right answer though, so you have to come up with it yourself.
Well, it's the sky, isn't it? Going by your definition just now? I actually managed to surprise her by that. Maybe she had already forgotten about it.
That's right, but I was thinking about myself when I said that. Very strange. Could it be that I actually am the sky?
I don't think that's possible. Your logic's a bit off somewhere. She looks down and shuts up, and I can see she's quickly going over the deduction mentally, seemingly unhappy with the result she finally arrives at.
Yeah, maybe I'm not the sky, but makes sense. I have a hard time knowing what kind of a person I am.
You're not the only one.
It's like my mind is in some other place than the rest of me.
Underwater.
Yeah, I wonder how it got there.
I have no answer, so a brief silence falls between us for a moment. I shift my gaze back to the sky above us. The last time I really paid much attention to the sky was... I guess it must have been at the hospital. I could only see a thin strip of sky from the windows of my room. If I walked up through the windows and pressed my face against the cold glass, the strip became bigger, but not by much. That sky made me feel sad and lonely, a reminder of the world on the other side. I wonder if there's another world beyond the sky we see from up here on the school's roof as well. I can't stop comparing life at Yamago to my hospitalization, but I really should. I'm not there anymore. The narrow sky from the window of my hospital room, the faces of the doctors, the faces of my parents, the off-white walls everywhere, Iwanako's letter echoing the words she never said. They're things of the past now. I wish I could forget everything up until now and that time would stop completely. There would be only me, Rin, and the sky, an eternal lunch break on this rooftop, perfect, unchanging, and forever. I'm not sure if I like or hate this school.
I could have gone to a normal school if I wanted, but I chose to come here.
Why?
I just decided I would, kind of like melon or plum jelly.
Do you think it was a good idea? I mean, there are a lot of good things about this school, but I think there are a few bad things as well also.
I know. I kind of collect people because they're interesting. People here really are amazing. Most of them, but not all. Some people can't take it. They hurt too much. It gets really bad sometimes, you know. They hurt. I wonder if you're like that too. I hope not. I don't like things like that.
Hey, I'm not your case study, and I'm not going to give up and die or anything. Anyway, I meant more that this place is too distant from the real world.
What's the real world?
Everything out there. Real people with normal everyday lives that fit together like a puzzle.
You don't think we aren't like that? Real people?
Maybe we aren't. Well, no, we are. It just meant that it feels more like we're the leftover pieces. Rin thinks for a while, her almond-shaped eyes narrowing as she bites her lip a little bit, like a child.
Is it hard to be disabled?
Her question earns a dry chuckle from me. You tell me. You've been in this business a lot longer than I have. She thinks about that for another while.
I don't really feel that disabled. I mean, I do pretty much everything differently, but it's not that hard. I can always practice. I've started to practice food things this year. I think I want to learn to cook in a real kitchen someday.
That's admirable, but I don't think it's just a state of mind.
Maybe not to you.
I have no good counter to that, so I can see it by following silent. The situation is making me more and more confused. I know what I want, but don't know how to reach it. Rin seems to believe she can simply will herself into the shape she thinks she needs to be, but can't decide whether she wants to be a bird or a butterfly.
I think in the end I'm not really that happy with who I am either, but that doesn't mean I regret being who I am. That's the thing that's wrong with you, Isao. Wait, what? Whoa!
I've only started to process that rather blunt statement before Rin suddenly hugs me. What are you doing? I've never been hugged by a girl with no arms before. To be honest, it doesn't really physically feel like a hug. The awkward way she presses her body against mine and the lack of embracing arms makes it feel like she fell on top of me. But the warmth of the real hug is still there, and that's how I recognize it for what it is.
I'm hugging you, Asao.
I know that, but...
Is it wrong? I thought this was what you're supposed to do. I'm not really used to this kind of thing. The first time Emmy hugged me, I got surprised and kicked her in the stomach. I could kick pretty hard, so she hasn't been hugging me an awful lot after that.
It's not wrong. No, it's just me. Things are a bit hard for me for the time being. I can't seem to react properly to anything.
Really? So it is hard being disabled after all?
I guess she has me cornered there. I don't have the energy to start arguing against it, but I feel like I have to get something out. Well, no, it's not hard. I think it's just me overthinking things. I really wish I didn't feel so sorry for myself all the time. I wonder if I always was this fragile or if I became this way after my incident. Nothing has ever truly shaken my world like that before, so there's no telling. Rin presses her cheek against me tightly. I can feel the warmth of her body close against me. Her body temperature feels really high, as if she had absorbed the sunlight into herself and was now sharing it with me. Or perhaps it's a natural state for her. It's the most comforting thing I've felt in a long, long time.
Wow, your heartbeat really does sound really weird. It's like a drunken percussion orchestra.
Please don't say stuff like that. I get very uncomfortable. I laugh at her comment anyway in an attempt to ease the tension. It sounds a little bit too forced. Man, I'm sorry I'm such a mess.
It's okay. It's the best part of you.
Hearing that doesn't make me happy. She breaks off the hug and settles down. An awkward silence falls upon us like a blanket, me feeling embarrassed about myself and Rin trying to arrange her expression to something she likes. One last time I glance upwards. This rooftop is really great. It's like I'm just a little bit closer to the sky.
I know a better place, but we can't go there on lunch break. I could take you there sometime if you want.
The bells ring for the beginning of the afternoon classes and Rin stands up to make her way downstairs. I don't hurry after her, deciding to stay up here for just a little while longer. Thanks for the hug.
Thanks for not kicking me.
Aww. After Rin leaves, I finally let tears roll down my cheeks and cry for my condition for the first and only time in my life. Then I cast away the hollow person lying on the hospital bed forever. Can we get Act 3? Damn it! Katawa Shoujo. When is Act 3 gonna begin? This is bullshit. 46? Oh my god, we really went over the fucking limit. Alright, so I'm gonna save here. Alright, so that was the longest. I think that's like the longest part of Katawa Shoujo yet. Anyway, Pokemon Randomized Platinum Part 9, I guess, will be up tomorrow on Saturday. Anyway, but yeah, so that was Katawa Shoujo Part 16. Hope you enjoyed it, and that's about it. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again for Pokemon Randomized Platinum Part 9 tomorrow. So, see ya!